Like damn, she wanna afford to touch me. I say I want it, and she got it.
What's good? It's your boy JayThat'sMe. Let's get into NXT from August the 13th, 2024. A very solid show. We are 2 weeks out until No Mercy, and the card seems to be shaping up quite nicely. And we got 2 championships that changed hands, so that was great. So this show was solid. Very good stuff. So we kicked the show off with Wes Lee. He was interviewed by Sarah Schreiber, but he declined and he bounced out, so that's fine. Moving on, so we officially kicked the show off with Ethan Page. So he gets on the mic and he talked about saying that the NXT universe wanted Oro Mensah to beat him, but Oro Mensah found out, just like everybody else, is that when Ethan Page says something, it comes true. Ethan Page said he could back up his talk, and he's done just that. The era of ego will continue to roll on strong. Nobody's taking the title from him. Not Wes Lee, not Trick Williams, and hell, not even Pete Dunne. This isn't NXT, it's NXT. So Joe Hendry interrupts. He apologizes for interrupting. So Joe Hendry said that Ethan Page became the talk of the pro wrestling world when he won the title at Heat Wave, but it lasted for all about 90 seconds until Joe Hendry appeared to close out the show. He said, even last week people left talking about Wes Lee, so it seems that his ego is bigger than reality. Ethan Page told him he needs to pipe down and take his ass back to TNA. Ethan Page doesn't even know why Joe Hendry is still hanging around NXT. Joe Hendry said he's here for the same reason everyone else is, and that's to win the NXT championship. So, Ethan Page gets it. Everyone believes in Joe Hendry, TNA, Shawn Michaels, and the NXT universe. However, he doesn't believe. And he also said that Joe Hendry's song makes him sick, and he believes that he's on his 14th minute of his 15 minutes of fame. And so Joe Hendry said that he's been grinding for the past 10 years, and he's made a lot of believers out of people such as Kurt Angle and Booker T. He said that he's no flash in the pan. So Joe Hendry began to sing his song, and Ethan Page got pissed off and bounced out. And then Wes Lee super kicked Joe Hendry from behind. So this is fine. This makes perfect sense. Really good segment here. I enjoyed it. Really good stuff. I'm loving Joe Hendry. NXT needs to go ahead and sign Joe Hendry. Like, seriously. I think he's been in TNA for, 2.5, going on 3 years. But Joe Hendry is solid. He's great. Excellent. Moving on. So Wren Sinclair, she's backstage with Carlie Dempsey. He doesn't want to be bothered. He's training for his Heritage Cup match. He says he doesn't want to talk. He's got to stay focused to finally go win the Heritage Cup after 3 months. So that's fine. Moving on. So Eva Rain, she was backstage. So she said there's going to be a No Mercy Gauntlet next week, made up of women who never had a title match, and whoever wins gets a shot at Roxanne Perez. And the 6 competitors will be chosen at random. So the first 3 were Wren Sinclair, Adriana Rizzo, and Soruka, which is fine. That's cool. Really good stuff. Moving on. So Carlie Dempsey defeated Tony D'Angelo. So he won via the 4th round. So he won, I think it was like a roll-up. And then Wren Sinclair, she slapped him. And He beat Tony D with the double underhook suplex for the 1-2-3, which I like. It is a solid finish, but a weird finish, but it's fine, I guess. So this is great. This makes perfect sense, and I like it. Perfect sense. So that's great. It seems like they're going to pair Tony D with Obafemi, which could rule. So I'm down for that. So it looks like it's going to be a feud between Tony D and Obafemi. Sign me the fuck up. Really good shit. Moving on. So Lola Vice is backstage and she's talking to Kalani Jordan. So Lola Vice complimented Kalani on how for how she defended her title. So they came across Tatum Paxley, who was talking to her dolls. Lola Vice tried to tell her it's going to be okay. And then Tatum Paxley freaked out, saying she has nothing, and no one is her friend. Not all of us can be popular and cool MMA fighters who had anything handed to them. So Lola Vice said she didn't know where Tatum Paxley was going with that, but she's going to show her. Okay, really good stuff. Great stuff. Moving on. So, this leads us to Lexis King versus Eddie Thorpe. So, there was a promo before the match. It was about the backstory. Basically, Eddie talked about his music and what it means to him and his tribe. And Lexis King says he's as moronic as the music that he creates, which is true. So this is fine. So Lexis King wins via the coronation, which is great for the 1-2-3. All right. I'm not a fan of Eddie Thorpe, a.k.a. Carl Fredericks. Just send him to TNA or whatever, seriously. I'm not really into his gimmick. He's kind of boring. I just don't care about it. I just don't. Moving on. So, Trick Williams, he's up next. He cut the promo. So, he's ready to talk about Pete Dunne. Trick says he'll figure him out because Trick solves problems and fixes issues. Trick said he had an issue with a friend betraying him. He took care of it. He had an issue beating up Ilya Dragunov. He took care of it. Well, now it's time to take care of Pete Dunne. He mentioned a story about being bullied in high school and how he decided to handle running up on 3 dudes in a small room. Pause. He didn't make sense, but he figured it out. By the end of the year, each one of them dudes took an L. Sure, Trick isn't coming to Pete Dunne for advice. He's coming for a rematch. One loss won't scare him away. And one way or another, he's going to figure him out. So that's fine. This makes sense. Perfect sense. So Pete Dunne, he sees the video. He's asked if they're going to get a rematch. He says Trick doesn't deserve one. People like Trick like the bitch, but he's moving on and looking at the NXT championship. Okay, that's fine. Trick will get his win back, I assume, at No Mercy. And like I've been saying for quite some time, that I wouldn't be shocked that if Trick defeats Ethan Page at the CW on the first episode of the CW when NXT moves to the CW in October. If he doesn't face him week 1, he'll definitely face him week 2. So that's fine. So Trick getting his title back is perfect. It makes perfect sense. Yeah. Because Ethan Page, to me, just strikes me as just a mid-card champion, just a transitional champion. So, there is that. Moving right along. So, Lola Vice defeats Tatum Paxley. So she wins via the spinning back fist. Kalani Jordan was out on commentary. And then she got the shit chucked out of her by Wendy Chu for whatever reason. And that caused a distraction. And this allowed for Lola Vice to hit the spinning back fist for the 1-2-3. This is fine, but we still have not gotten any explanation as to why Wendy Chu turned heel. And this has been going on for 6 weeks. It makes no fucking sense. This is dumb. Absolutely dumb. I don't know what they're doing here. I'm guessing it'll probably be Kalani Jordan and Wendy Chu at No Mercy. I mean, that's fine. I would expect for Kalani to go over Wendy Chu, if we're being honest, and then maybe they could have Tatum Paxi and Wendy Chu as a team, as a duo. I think that's what they might do. We'll see what Shawn Michaels does, but that's where all the signs seem to be pointing, if we're being honest. Continuing on, so Ava Raine, she mentions the final competitors for the gauntlet match: Miss Jada Parker, Kendall Gray, and Carmen Petrovich. So that's fine. That's cool. Moving on. So Wes Lee explains why he attacked the Razcals, why he ended the Razcals. So he comes out. He gets a really decent reaction. He's booed, which is good. A good reaction to boos. He says he gets it. He says last week he shocked the world. Honestly, he shocked himself too. He truly believed he was going to be winning the tag team championships with his best friend, but Zach let him down once again. This goes back to 2 years ago when Zach let him down the first time. He says, one of the greatest tag teams in NXT history. It's now dead. It all happened. Everyone was feeling sad for Zach. But they were feeling sorry for Wes Lee. They wondered what he would do next, thinking he was only started as a tag team guy. Well, he busted his back to become the greatest North American champion of all time. But Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel, they abandoned him to reunite in TNA, while he broke his back to become a top star in NXT. He's done being a caretaker. Wes Lee said he's done worrying about what Zach will say or do. He was the one who kept everything together when they were the Razcals. He was the one driving them from city to city, squashing all their beefs and taking up their flights. All of it. He said he's tired of taking care of Zach. Where he wants to go, he knows. And his best friends, and he cannot have his best friends riding his coattails. He knows the only reason they came back was for the WWE rub. That was a nice one. I love that. I love that. That was great. So, someone in the crowd said, "Talk your shit, Wes." That was great, too. I love that. That was great. So, Wes Lee said that he knows there's going to be a match with Zach at No Mercy coming up, a fitting name because he'll show none of it when he beats the living hell out of his former partner. And once he's done doing that, they can go back to TNA and have a wonderful career as he inspires on bigger and better things, like becoming the NXT champion. And then he said that he wished him well in the future endeavors. So Pete Dunne came out and said that he's impressed by this. And he's focusing on becoming NXT champion as well. So Joe Hendry, his music hits, and then he takes out Wes Lee. And then a massive brawl breaks out between all three guys. So that's fine because it's going to set up a triple threat match. Next week, the winner of that will face Ethan Page at No Mercy for the NXT Championship, which we all know Joe Hendry is going to win. I expect for Trick Williams to get involved, and I expect for the Razcals to get involved to kind of screw both guys out of the title. Pause. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. So, yeah. Moving on. So, Axiom and Nathan Frazier, they're backstage. They said it hasn't been a secret that they haven't been on the same page for a minute. No one's chasing after singles titles. They've arrived at the same time this evening. They're locked in. They got their opponents scouted. They're on the same page. And they plan to retain their titles this week. Not different than last week. That's fine. All right, cool. Moving on. So, Tony D and the family, they're walking backstage. They're being asked about losing the Heritage Cup. So, as he begins to answer Obafemi just comes into the picture, says that he's ready he's here and he's ready for battle against Otis. So, Tony D and the family, they were shocked. So this is perfect. This is great. Moving right along. So, we got a Chase U backstage promo. So Duke Hudson apologized to Rich Holland, saying they were caught off guard last week. Everyone got on board and accepted it. Got on board with it and accepted Ridge. He says that he's so excited, but more than that, he's grateful. He called out Thea Hell for believing in him, and he can't say how much that meant to him. He thanked everyone for giving him a fair chance, even though they couldn't trust him at first. He's going to give everything in his power to reward their faith by winning the tag team titles in the main event. Nice. I'm loving this. Excellent stuff. Chase U has been massively over since their inception in 2021. So for the past 3 years, people have loved them. And I do think that when they get caught up on the main roster, they're going to find success there as well. So I do like that. So great stuff. Moving on. Obafemi defeated Otis. He wins via the powerbomb. He barely got him off. He had to use the second rope, that being Obafemi, to beat Otis, which I was kind of disappointed by. I felt that Obafemi could have easily lifted up Otis. Looks like he can bench press I want to say maybe a good 600 to 800 pounds. But it is what it is, so it's fine. So Obafemi retains. That's cool. I'm just ready for the feud between him and Tony D to kick off. I think that's going to be some awesome shit when it happens and goes down. Moving on. So, Brick Stenson, he's backstage. They showed a video of him about how it's been rough for him. Said there were a lot of empty words from people claiming to support him. But there was someone looking out for him, someone who made sure he got home every night, a leader, a mentor to him. Then he says, does that work? So the camera cuts, and it's lame as Sean Spears says that that's perfect. Oh my God, fuck this. Moving right along. So Idris and his family Blade, they're backstage. They're talking about what they just saw, agreeing that Brick Stenson has been manipulated. So Hank agreed with them before they took off, and then Tank showed up to chat, and then they mentioned that they have a tag match against the OC next week, a.k.a. the Good Brothers. I don't give a single fuck about any of this. Moving on. Izzy Dane defeats Brindley Reese. Okay, that's fine. Not really all that important. Moving on. So, Ava is backstage. So, she promotes the gauntlet match, and she said that she put together a triple threat match to determine who wrestles Ethan Page at No Mercy. I've already mentioned that. So, Roxanne Perez, she showed up for a brief second. She's saying that she's excited to see who's going to be her opponent next week. So, that's cool, I guess. And then they plug the CM Punk Randy Orton fiasco, having them show up on the first 2 episodes of the CW for October 1st for CM Punk and October 8th for Randy Orton. So that's fine. Moving on. Main event of the evening, Chase U. They defeated Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Great stuff. Loved it. Excellent stuff. This is perfect. So Chase U winning was the right decision. It makes perfect sense. Again, they are the most over act on the show, and they have been for 3 years straight. And Chase U has just been solid. I've always liked Chase U. And this is good. I'm loving this. So, NXT was solid. I enjoyed it. Carlie Dempsey, once again becoming the Heritage Cup champion. The Heritage. My bad. The Heritage Cup winner is fine. That's great. And then also for Tissue to win the tag titles, that's great as well. I'm excited for the Trick and Pete Dunne feud to an extent, even though I'm not a fan of Pete Dunne, but it is what it is. But NXT was solid. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.